The problem with ultra-fast Audis is you never quite know what you're going to get. We love the R8 almost as much as we loathe the TT RS. Earlier this year, we were quite disappointed by the RS3, despite last year being pleasantly surprised by the RS5. What then to make of this, the all-new RS4 Avant? Well, we're here in a very rainy Austria to find out. So what makes this RS4 different to the last? Well, the good news is the one thing that isn't different about it, or isn't very different about it, is the V8 4.2 litre engine. None of this small capacity, twin turbocharged downsized nonsense here. You get the full fat 8,250 RPM V8, which is fantastic news. The main difference is, well, obviously this is the new generation of A4. You can't get it with a manual gearbox. The old one was only manual. You have to have this 7-speed S-tronic paddle shift transmission. But you do get a more sophisticated four-wheel drive system, one with a crown wheel and pinion and a centre differential, which can send up to 85% of the power to the rear wheels, which in theory at least should make it rather better to drive than the last RS4. Now the bad news is, because they've stuck all this extra stuff on the car, they've also added quite a lot of weight. This car weighs nearly 1,800 kilos. The last one weighed just over 1,700 kilos. Now Audi says it's actually faster than the old one and claims a 0-62 times 2/10 faster, but I think that's because it's got paddle shift and it's got launch control, not because the car is inherently any quicker. Okay, so let's just talk a little bit about the bad stuff, get that out of the way. The ride even here in Austria is really quite firm. I worry about it when it gets back to the UK. The RS5 got quite a big kicking, although it's a good car and we liked it, for the quality of its ride, and this one doesn't feel to be an awful lot better, so we'll have to wait and see what that's like when we get home. Also, this dynamic steering just don't have anything to do with it. It doesn't add anything to the car, and it just makes the steering feel light and horrible and devoid of feel when you're going slowly. So that's the bad stuff. The good stuff, well, the good news is that there's actually quite a lot more good stuff than bad stuff. This is actually a really, really good car, a good RS Audi. You've got this lovely engine, and although I would rather have 3 pedals and a stick, I have to say the S-tronic transmission is really good, really quick, really smooth, really fast. But I think the best thing about it, and maybe the most surprising thing, is, you know, I remember when RS Audis, every time you pointed them anywhere in a corner, they just went over there somewhere. They just wanted to go straight on. They didn't want to turn in, they just understeered. There was no balance in the car. Now, I'm on quite wet roads over here, so maybe it'll be different when it's dry, but this car has real balance. It turns in nicely, and if you turn the tricks off, you can actually balance the car on the throttle. And if you really want to, you can go very sideways indeed. I'm not used to RS Audis behaving like that, and I think it's fantastic that if you want to and the environment is correct, you can. So where does this new RS4 stand in the pantheon of good, bad and sometimes thoroughly indifferent Audis that we've seen from the RS brand over the last almost 20 years? Well, I'd say it was definitely one of the better ones. It does those things that all RSs have always done. It's fast, it's well built, it's good looking, but on top of that, it adds an element of driver satisfaction that is really pretty rare among cars like this. Would I have it over its closest rival, the Mercedes C63 AMG? I'd say possibly not. The Mercedes is more expensive, but so too does it have a much greater sense of occasion. It's a more comfortable car, it's a better driver's car, and it's got that magnificent 6.2 litre V8 in it. But among the RSs that have been made over the last 18 years, I'd say this isn't just one of the better ones, I'd say it was one of the best, and of that, Audi can be truly proud.